In this video I'm going to go over how to do 3D models with A-Frame. So A-Frame supports most common 3D model file formats. So the recommended one is GLTF, and GLTF usually comes with a bunch of files. So we recommend packing these GLTF models using GLB Packer, and that's something I'm going to go through in this video. There's obviously a lot of different 3D file formats. So OBJ, MTL, and PNG used to be the way to do it in the past. The problem with that approach is, while it's relatively easy to get the OBJ into A-Frame, making sure that the material references the PNGs when you upload the PNGs, that is sometimes an issue if there is no relative path supported. So for example, on Glitch, everything is hosted in the cloud. Everything you upload into Glitch will be ending up somewhere nobody knows where. It's not like a common kind of like drive or FTP kind of file structure that you'll have. And then you can use A-Frame Extras, which is a library that you could include, which gives you additional model loaders, including Animation Mixer for animated 3D models, and FBX model and Collada, which is now a legacy, so DAE file format. Anyway, these things are supported, and that is what you should know. Then I'm going to go in this video over hosting similar to, you can see some of my CodePen examples in A-Frame where I showed that for a range of different models. These models at the time I hosted on GitHub pages, and then it had all these raw Git URLs here on the left. That's why they are these, well, this is not my stuff, but then my assets are also hosted and they came through raw Git. So I can open this very quickly here to show you how this can be done. Obviously you can host the models anywhere. I used to host them as I said, via GitHub pages, and then do it this way. Now the CDN raw Git stuff I think has been discontinued, so in this video I'll just show how to do it with Glitch. So here's a Glitch project. Go full screen. We have asset management, no assets here yet. We're going to get some in there, and then we have index.html, and I already added one thing that I will talk about later, which is this part. The renderer color management true needs to be enabled. That is, if you don't do this, you will sometimes notice that models just they look very dark, or they don't seem to render correctly. The textures don't really appear correctly. So I'm going to add that renderer color management true when I work with 3D models. That is something that I found out looking deeply into the Three.js, kind of like an A-Frame Stack Overflow things. Anyway, it used to be gamma output true, but now it's color management true, which gives you the best result, because gamma output was discontinued within Three.js. Long story short, add that. So we have our scene set up here. Color management is true, and so now we're going to get some 3D models. In fact, what I want to have in the end is this kind of like composition here. I want to have a T-Rex and a Velociraptor, and they should be standing roughly in my A-Frame scene contents. But anyway, this is what I want to accomplish by the end of this video. And just to show you, like, this scene is, I had to play around a little bit with the size of these objects and the position of these objects, but I got it to work, and so these are just two 3D models that I would like to work with. So let us close this and see. So the GLTF model is what we'll use in A-Frame. There is documentation on that. So basically you would get, you would link an asset, so it's GLTF file this way. It can also be a GLB, this is what we're going to do, and then under asset items, and then we are actually going to get the GLTF model by just like selecting it via that ID, so #3. You can also write URL and link the path directly here within GLTF model. I may show you that as well. So let's find some models. So you will probably spend a lot of time trying to find the best looking whatever it is model that you want. So here I already found this guy. I was looking for free ones. This is one of the few free ones, so I'm going to look at this. I have a preview of it. This is a Velociraptor. There's a couple of issues with this model, but that's just great for us. The pivot point and the origin is really way off. It's not as centered. So anyway, I'm going to download this 3D model, and I'm going to say download as GLTF. So I'm going to get this, open it in a folder, and I'm going to unpack it. And I previously unpacked it into the dinosaur. I'm just going to remove these just to show you really how the workflow should work. So I got the dinosaur. We're going to unpack it into, not move, but unpack into the desktop, extract there. Yeah, so this is, I'm just going to do this quickly, and I'm going to call this, this will be my Velociraptor. Okay, and then I'm going to get another one. I just wanted to have two, and I found a T-Rex on the next page. Where's my T-Rex? The one that I wanted to work with? T-Rex? Is it this guy? I think this is the guy. I thought I had it selected. There's a different T-Rex. This one is even animated. Okay, so whether we're gonna get an animated T-Rex, I think for animation we need FBX. I mean, that would be awesome if we had this guy. So let's see. T-Rex model I used is still kind of like available for free. Okay, let's try to be experimental on this one. Can I download? I think GLTF will not download. I don't know what the original format blend is, just like Blender format, so I don't think we'll actually get it animated. Cannot download as FBX. FBX would be the downloaded one, but in any case, I'm gonna try to just like download it anyway, because you might spend quite some time on different models, so I'm just gonna do it as well. And then let's see whether I can find my other T-Rex again, which I thought I had a different T-Rex before. So let's just try T-Rex. Here, T-Rex, let's do downloadable. I don't want to pay any money for it, so next, this one is the one that I used before, so I'm just gonna get this guy. I know this works, so, but anyway, we're gonna try all three. So let us show the T-Rex, gonna extract it into my T-Rex animated, that's what I'm gonna call this one. And then the latest one, which is still downloading. I wonder why it's still downloading. Did I not pick it? This guy. I'm gonna extract it into T-Rex, just T-Rex, not animated. Okay, so now on my desktop I have like a T-Rex animated, and a Velociraptor. Cool. So the next thing I say in the slides is use the GLB packer. This thing here, I'm gonna let me close this. The problem I had is right now it's not really working. Like I'll drag and drop things into it and it just won't do it for me, at least when I tried it before. Let me try this and see, and nothing is happening. It's no error messages, nothing is being downloaded, it just seems stuck. Okay, so I didn't want to give up. I found a different one. So there's a variety of them online. So yeah. So we're gonna pack this guy, and it downloads as a scene. We're gonna call this one Velociraptor, and I probably already have one called Velociraptor. So let me let me just remove these GLBs because I practiced a little bit before. So this is our Velociraptor. Okay. And I'm going to show you already before I continue. So we're going to get this Velociraptor up here now. Assets, upload Velociraptor. And then it's going to upload it And now they actually have previews for 3D models, which I thought is pretty cool. Ta-da! There's our Velociraptor. And I'm just gonna copy this URL here. This is the thing that I need, this string. I'm gonna get it in here. We're gonna do it in the ugly way first. So, and I show you what the difference is between that. If you do it this way, I'm gonna have it. There it is. It's really big. That's something we have to deal with in a bit. It's also positioned, it should be positioned at 0, 0, but it's so big and so the scale is so bad. But I'm gonna get a few different ones, a few more of these guys. So who else did we download? So GLB Packer didn't work. I used a different one. So yeah, that's allowed. And we're gonna go into our scene, into assets, and we have to still pack a few different people here, a few different GLBs. We're gonna do the T-Rex, right? So I have to pick all these files and put it in here. That is gonna be our T-Rex when it gets here, and we're just gonna call it T-Rex. And I can, just using Paint 3D, which is free software, I can check the T-Rex, and this is going to take a little while, but there we go. This is it. Looks a little grumpy, but okay, that's fine. And I'm curious whether, so we're going to get this guy, upload into our glitch project, so drag and drop, drop to upload assets, that's also possible, so that's cool. Here we have the second guy. I'm gonna get this into our scene. I'm gonna do it the same way. I'm gonna name things in a bit, but here, so this is Velociraptor. This is our T-Rex. No two models of the same ID. Okay. Cool. And let us remove this here for a second so you see what I was talking about. Looks pretty dark, right? Doesn't really appear the right way. The T-Rex, which is supposedly bigger, like, I mean, archaeologically speaking, this should be bigger than the other guy, is not. So we have this issue, which we have to deal with. And we had the material issue, but I did the color management true, and this is a little hack, you might think, but it just tells the renderer how to render things. Finally, I'm going to try to get the animated guy in here. So we have a last one, the T-Rex animated. Gonna pick this, go to my oops, this is actually what I wanted, this guy. Okay, drag and drop in here, download a GLB, does it automatically for me. It's coming here. So this is the T-Rex animated one. Let us see when we open this. I'm just curious whether, first of all, I don't know whether 3D or Paint 3D, this doesn't seem to be working. It doesn't know what to do with it. So let's see whether we actually can get it up here. So anyway, if we had 1 out of 3 working, that's still, well, 2 out of 3, that would be 66% working. And that's already a good rate when it comes to 3D models. This one, it just actually doesn't know what to do. It just doesn't know how to render it. For some reason, it just doesn't work. And so then I'll give up on that one. I'll just delete it. Or let me try to include it. Just the preview doesn't work. It's unlikely, to be honest, it'll appear. And sometimes you have the issue that 3D models won't work. And yeah, here we have the problem that this guy doesn't work. Okay, so we're gonna get the guy from before. Make sure that you, I mean, this stuff is for free, but let's just say I want to have a clean project, and so now I have to deal with actually aligning these two people. So I'm going to go into new window here. I'm going to use the A-frame inspector to try to get things right. So the T-Rex, kind of like, I like the T-Rex, but I think I want to have it a little bit backwards so it doesn't actually really, it stands more like in the scene. So this T-Rex is -1, to 5 on the Z, so that's something I'll just like copy over into my scene here. That's all I'm gonna do. Position is otherwise fine. 0, 0. That's on the T-Rex. So now I'm a little bit happier with how it's standing, and the ball seems to be just right above the toes, so I'm kind of like happy with that. And then I have to play a little bit more with it with the Velociraptor. So here I'm going to zoom out. This guy is really big, so I think when I practiced a little bit before, this might be a good size, but that's something. And now I'm trying to, I don't like the position of it. I'm going to rotate it as well. So what you see is here, the origin is here, but this model is like off the origin, which really messes everything up, including obviously the scale is weird, but also rotation is weird, because it doesn't really rotate around the 0. Okay, and now let's just make sure that this guy doesn't float in a weird way. So I'm going to actually bring him up again a little bit. So this is a good way to actually see roughly, so it should be standing like that. Cool. And it still looks too big, so I'm gonna scale it down a little bit more. I am not so sure that I like this size compared to the T-Rex. I still think this is too big. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just use the scale thing here on that, and oops, okay, it doesn't work so well. Negative scale. Okay, this is okay. That yeah. So I'm gonna do just this. Right, okay, so I'm spending a little bit of time, but you would also spend a little bit of time, so that's just fair. But it's not, you're not too interesting, you're not learning too many interesting things this way. Anyway, I align it with the horizon roughly, so that I know where to place it. And then I'm gonna round a little bit. So this is gonna be 1.5, and the orientation, the rotation, no, it doesn't preview this anymore. -10. Okay, now it's a little bit broken. Anyway, I'm gonna just copy paste this out. Let's see whether this works as I get it, my entity, into this scene. And here's supposed to be my Velociraptor, and is it roughly there? Okay, the rotation, I messed up the orientation, the rotation around the y-axis a little bit. So let's just do positive rotation, and I need to push it a little bit more to the right. So let me preview this one more time. Again, you're going to spend quite a bit of time, I'm sure, on these kinds of 3D models and getting them in the right way. But here we go. I kind of like the scene. I will bring this guy a little bit over. So let's just zoom out of the scene, move him a little bit over, a little bit. Oops, that was Y. Unfortunately, no undo here. So I remember this was at 1.5, and I wanted to have the blue one. So a little bit back into the scene. I like that composition better, so I'm going to copy this one more time. He looks tiny compared to the T-Rex, but anyway, I like this scene. I'm just going to replace this with what I just had and hope this is roughly what we wanted. So, cool. And now we can just start our scene here in VR. So we're going to go and allow, using this in a virtual reality headset. Going to go and get my Oculus Rift running, and it is not loading at the moment, so let me redo this one more time. Sometimes I have issues with Chrome, and I continue to have issues with Chrome, so what I'll do is I'm actually going to open this now in Firefox, so because I know there it usually works for me, and then I'm going to just start this in here. and it just loaded the models, and I'm going to show you what I see because you were wondering what's going on. Here we have it. Okay. All right. So I'm right below the T-Rex. It's just would be very difficult for me without teleporting to walk away from the T-Rex. But anyway, this is pretty cool, and I'm just happy with this, and I'm gonna end the video here.